Alright, interwebs. How's everybody doing? Mind the ambience here. I'm in my car and it's 105 degrees outside here in sunny Texas. Whoop-de-doo. It's been a while. I find myself saying that more and more lately, and it's because more and more I'm coming to the realization that we're at the end of the tracks on this experiment that we call the United States of America. And there's not a whole lot we can do at the individual level to fix anything. Maybe this newer generation. I'm a millennial. Maybe the Zoomers and the Alpha generations might have a better chance at actually doing something here. I don't see anything that we can do. Petition for the closure of the Federal Reserve Bank, forever and ever, amen. That'd be a good start. Whether or not it got followed through on, I don't know. It's the only thing I can think of anymore. That and prepping. Suffocate the system as much as you possibly can. If you can find legal methods to not pay this or that extortion fee, you know what I'm talking about, then do it. Other than that, I don't see a reason to participate anymore. I'm not going to vote. That's not worked for the last decade. I don't think it's going to work in the next. Stock up. This isn't a prepping channel. Go watch one of those guys. They'll tell you what to do. Canadian Prepper's pretty good, I guess. Doug and Stacy, if you want to get a wrangle on victory gardens and making your own canned foods and stuff like that. I'm almost a month into sobriety, well, from alcohol. I've quit drinking. I don't think I was a particularly bad drinker, but it was causing me to pack on weight, and I decided just to quit it altogether. It's kind of screwed up my reward system, and that might be part of the reason for my disdain with ongoings in politics. This is the world that we live in now, and I've got to make peace with that or not. I don't know how much longer Americans, let alone this one speaking, can make peace with that fact. That there's no getting ahead, in order to get ahead, you have to play by a different set of rules, i.e., you got to break them. That's where we are. That's the system, as designed, as intended, breaking the labor class over the dollar. Inflation is a vehicle for theft, and the mechanism that allows for that inflation is called fractional reserve banking, and it's been screwing us all over the long haul at glacial speed since 1912, 1913, since its implementation. Over that time period, inflation has skyrocketed, but wages parted from reality around the year 2000. There's a distinctive fork in the road between inflationary forces and wages. This was always the strategy. They want us dependent, inured, and homeless. How many folks out there hearing my voice tumble through their ear canals have multiple roommates, live in their parents' house still, or had to move back in, or maybe with relatives or friends, or maybe you're living out of your car or on the street? I was pretty close, a lot closer than I'm really comfortable with talking about in detail. There's a lot of things, it's, I don't know if you call it PTSD or what, but just little flashes of memories that I had when it was pretty dark for me. And I don't know if I've convinced myself that this is just a baseline level of fight or flight that I have to live with from this point on because of that, it never leaves you. I don't like existing like this. I don't know that anybody else would either. I don't imagine that they do. And our politicians, the news media, they don't care. They've not made meaningful steps to correct the situation because the primary one is still the dollar. We can bring all those manufacturing jobs back here. That's a good start. But from my bird's eye view on the situation, it doesn't look like they're really serious about doing that. Because all of the money is being dumped into artificial intelligence. That's where the big buku bucks are going, folks. And do you know what those implementations are going to do? And look, I'm an early adapter, I think, to this technology. I've been using AI for probably since GPT 1.0 was publicly released. Well, maybe that's not an early adapter, but you get my point. I really like this technology from a user standpoint. But the way this stuff is going to be used, and the way it's already being used now, it's going to replace a swath of jobs, a huge one. In the tech sector, in administrative white-collar jobs. Follow the money to see where the areas of importance are. It's AI. They're finally building up the power grid. Why? For artificial intelligence. Not for any increase on the power demand of the grid as population grows, because that's not happening. People aren't having kids right now. Why do you think they had to let in caravan after caravan of illegals into this country unmitigated for the past 4 years? It's to replace the kids that you're not having because you can't afford it. And they know you can't afford it. And they don't want to fix that you can't afford it. They need bodies. Doesn't have to be you. In fact, you're a problem. You remember the good times. Or your parents did. I'm finding it hard to enjoy basically anything now. And I don't think it's just the lack of adult beverages. It's everything. Trying to grow my secondary channel here for science fiction stuff has been, I think the most powerful statement that I've heard in recent memory is that do something because it is difficult, if for no other reason. It's really stuck with me. I forget if it was Tom Bilyeu that said this or a partial John F. Kennedy statement regarding going to the moon, which, maybe we did that, maybe we didn't, I don't know. Do something because it's difficult. And that's kind of the mantra that I approached quitting alcohol with. That, and it just was not contributing to my productivity with regards to the other channel that I'm trying to do. There's got to be a reason to do stuff like that. And I feel like that's been stripped out of America. At least for me, and for a lot of other people. What's the reason for doing all of this? I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't see my heyday coming. You put in the work and there's nothing to show for it. What's the purpose for continuing to do it? This channel only started growing after I'd already given up on it. I've been doing this with YouTube for about 10 years now, and it's never garnered any fruit. Finally, I just shelved it. That and my disdain for American politics in general now, it's frustrating because I know the growth potential for a politics-based channel like this one is better than the science fiction one, and that didn't always used to be the case. That's why I bounced back to doing it initially. Was my experiment with doing fiction-based content, I'd say probably about 8 years ago when I tried the first time, was vastly different than what I'm getting right now. One of the effects of high stress dragged out over long periods of time is impact on memory and cognition and general mood. That's definitely been something I've been dealing with. I'll go to open the refrigerator, grab something, forget what I grabbed, have to go back, stand there for a minute. Oh, it's in my hand. Then I close the door, walk outside the room, forget if I closed the fridge door, I gotta go back and double check. This has been ongoing now. I don't want to keep wasting my time on projects that don't go anywhere, that don't help me shovel some of the dirt off from over top of my head. I'm at a weird crossroads where I don't know which direction is the right way. The way I figured this was one of those projects that wasn't leading anywhere. Maybe it still isn't. I don't really know at this point. Somewhere along the way, YouTube and other social media platforms decided that faceless channels we're not going to highlight those. We're not going to show them now. You got to show your face. You got to de-anonymize yourself. I'm not completely uncomfortable with that concept. I just assume actually start making money off from it first and then do it. This is a dangerous topic to get into, has been since 2016, regardless of what side of the fence you're on. As you're seeing this year around, pendulum swinging back the other way quite radically, and ostensible fence sitters like myself who don't really fit the pattern of either left or right, politically speaking, tend to get bludgeoned by both sides, and yeah, that's a thing. This administration keeps talking about we need to lower rates. Like that matters to most Americans. It doesn't. Newsflash, it does not. Over 50% of Americans can't even afford a down payment on the average house. It doesn't matter what the rates are. It doesn't matter what the mortgage payments are, the death grip payments. Can't even pass the credit score. We're tapped out. I'm tapped out. And slowly digging myself out of that hole financially, but it's going to take a while. Another year or two in the future, and it'll probably be something else by then. Here's a question, and this is for all the folks who are, pay back the student loans. I don't have any student loans to pay off. Uncle Sammy paid for that, but really they took that out of the paycheck. So I don't really have a dog in this particular fight, but I'm going to say something unpopular here, which is, who does it benefit if all these people that got degrees pay back their student loans? Who does it benefit? Does it benefit you? In any way, does it benefit you? This goes out to all the folks who are saying you need to pay back your student loans and you know what you signed and this, that, and the other. I can understand the argument. I can understand the duty and the responsibility aspect of it. I get that. I do. The thing that I do not get is, one, the economy's borked. And these people coming out of college with their degrees, not all of them useless degrees, by the way, can't get adequate paying jobs to make it in this market. Neither can anybody else, for that matter. And we've got to get their stuff back. We're going to garnish their wages to get it. Who does it benefit? Who does it benefit? It's not going to affect me one way or another. If everybody who owned student loan debt suddenly got their windfall enough money to pay it all back, and they did so, what would it change? Because the federal government, the source of this student loan bubble that we're experiencing now, that's about to pop, they're not going to change their spending habits any more than Americans are. And by the way, there's nothing forcing them to do so, except for maybe the international community, and that doesn't really seem to be having any effect at the moment. Now, who knows, BRICS might come down later and change that, but then we'll probably get a World War II, World War III, World War 96, whatever it'll take. But until then, Uncle Sammy's just going to keep spending and spending and spending and spending. That's been the trend. That's been the trend as long as I've been paying attention to it in my short life on this earth, and since before I was even born. If you look in the history books, they've been doing this crap. It's been a hockey stick since 2003. It's not abated ever since. I am under no illusion that will change regardless of who we get in the Oval Office, until the mechanism for that spending is gone. Until the credit card gets cut up. I had to do it with mine. Why doesn't the federal government get the same impetus forced on it, legally speaking? Every time they turn that spigot on, they're stealing from you, Mr. and Mrs. America. I hate keep coming back to this thing, but it's the elephant in the room. Nobody wants to talk about it, and the ones that do just get shoved down, and I'm probably going to have to edit all this crap out later. Duties and responsibilities. I've got all these duties and responsibilities. When you become an adult, the stuff just gets foisted on you. No one's coming to help you. This isn't the same generation that your parents grew up in. Not even close. And there's no getting through. Folks are going to have to experience that of all different age brackets, and they are. That tidal wave is starting. The cash out refi boomers, the ones that didn't quite set themselves up for success early on, they're getting hammered right now. And another 5 years, you're going to see a wave of homeless boomers and millennials. We're going to be sharing street corners together. You better get them generational differences hashed out. I've thought about this a number of times that, and maybe if I didn't live in such a sweltering climate, Texas gets 2 seasons. We get winter and summer, and that never the twain shall meet. I probably would have given it more serious thought. I might have even done it already. Living out of my car, save my money up, get a van or something. I don't know. 'Cause I don't know how much longer I can do this anymore. I don't want to wait until I'm in my 60s before I have some freedom. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. I don't see a ladder. I don't see a way out. I don't see myself upskilling anymore. I should already be making some money off the stuff that I've already done for the past decade, but it's just not moved. I am a digital ghost. A hermit. Can anybody hear me? Hello? 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 I hate starting from zero. I'm not doing that again. It's gotten to the point now, technologically speaking, where I'm probably getting profiled based on my voice, and that's enough to set the algorithm off to not promo or promote any of my content. So AI tools for the other channel, mainly used them because I thought there might have been something wrong with my voice. Well, yeah, I guess there's just some kind of digital soul these machines can detect, or I'm just not playing the game right. I don't know anymore. I did research. I totally changed up how I did things on the other channel. It's not working. Nothing's working. A couple of months ago, I got my paycheck in, which was higher than it usually is. Almost $2,000. Then I look at the tax information, and Uncle Sam took, $500 about out of my check. I get one good month. And in comes Uncle Sammy to rake me over the fucking coals. What's even the point? Why are you taking so much from fucking poor people? And you want to, this is my definition. If you cannot afford an apartment on your own by yourself, that's poverty. It should be anyways. That's baseline poverty to me. If you cannot afford an apartment on your own, that's poverty. It wasn't even that long ago I remember being able to have my own place. My rent was $600 a month. My electric bill was $40. Groceries maybe $40 to $60 a week. Not anymore. Now you can double all of those numbers. 10 years, and this country has gone down the toilet with no signs of getting any better. And the only pet projects this government is dumping money into is for technology that will replace even more jobs. And that's going to make America better. That's going to make us more competitive, probably. But it's not going to help you. It's not going to help me. There's going to be an interim period here. This is what the tech guys also... We're going to have this growth period where it's going to suck and you got to use AI to your advantage, or you're going to... No. It's not changing back. I think the entire reason for the rollout of industry to foreign countries was in preparation for what's about to happen next, which is they're going to replace over 50% of the workforce with artificial intelligence. Consequences on your personal life be damned. Let them eat flat screens. Just see where the money goes. $500 billion investment from SoftBank into artificial intelligence. Oh, but we're going to have Apple making chips here in America again. For what? What are they building chips for? Tesla's going to be making their supercluster for Grok. Or is it XAI? I don't know. Yeah, they're going to be making a supercluster. A super clusterfuck. To fuck over all of us. I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore. I don't know why I'm doing anything anymore. I stopped caring about this project long after it stopped caring about me. It's funny, I'm listening to all these different talking points that are coming up now on various shows. Tucker Carlson had Richard Warner on. He's the guy, he's in one of the old videos I did here, banking debt collapse and World War, I forget. Original video title was How Real Estate Became a Zero-Sum Game. Same guy, Richard Warner. Talks mirrored on John Statmiller's show, Republic Broadcasting Network, about a decade ago. Talking about the banking system, the fractional reserve banking system, as a mechanism for theft, which it is. Him, Catherine Austin Fitts, again, also on John's show back in the 2015 to 2020 range, somewhere in there. Catherine Austin Fitts. She made her rounds. I think she was on Alex Jones' show. Everything old is new again. The American people are just now hearing the warning cries of messages that have been put out for a decade. Just now hearing about it. Is it too late? It feels like it's too late. You know, this country's leaders and all these mechanisms that we set up to do what? I don't know. Are driving the train off the fucking rails. And I don't know why I should care anymore. If I had the money, I'd just leave. I'd go to anywhere else.